excuse me.
Well, David Prunty in 16th place there, Aaron Dalton in 17th place with Philip Upson in 18th place, rounding off our top 18 drivers there in a fantastic race. It was one of those races, Evan, where we didn't really know where to look because wherever we looked, there was a battle going on, and wherever we didn't look, there was a battle we missed. It was just impossible to keep up, but that's never a bad thing.
Never a bad thing at all. There was a couple of crashes, couple of spins, couple of fantastic overtakes, couple of brilliant racing. But I do believe we're going to have a little bit of an interview before heat number 3. I say that like we don't do it every week, but we're going to hear from the two-time this evening race winner, Dylan McClements. Dylan, are you the new Jordan Kelly?
I hope so, but yeah, quite lucky for him to spin off the start, but kind of just took advantage of it.
Well, certainly in that second heat, you led from the front, pulled the gap away from those behind. Were you stressed at any point in that heat? Because it didn't really look like it. You seemed to have that one under complete control.
Not really. I mean, I did have some sliding moments, but nothing too like concerning. Nothing. It was just a like relaxed race for me.
And then heading into heat number 3, obviously you have to cut through the reverse grid now. Do you feel you have the pace to do that? Are you looking forward to maybe a bit of an extra challenge?
Yeah, I'm hoping to cut through the pack easily, but I need to still be careful because last week I was maybe a bit too aggressive and payback got me. But I'll try my best to cut through the field and maybe get a third win.
Well, Dylan, we had one hat-trick last week in terms of Jordan Kelly. Would you like to be the second one in 2 weeks?
I would like to hope so, but yeah, it's just luck for me, and I forget a good start. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Dylan, thank you very much for joining us. We wish you the best of luck in the third heat, and if you do win it, we hope to hear from you afterwards.
Right. Cheers. Thank you.
Great to hear from Dylan McClements there after the first and second heat. And now a man who's coming in for not a post-race interview for once. It's Kieran, who'll be interviewing Jordan Kelly.
Jordan, I mean, I think you know where I'm going to start this interview. It's turn one, race one. What on earth happened?
I think it was the how long. It's a full out lap of cold tires, so I think it just caught me out. I was driving as if I was on a quali lap, and I probably shouldn't have been. Took it a wee bit easy in turn one, but it was a wee bit interesting coming back through the pack, I suppose.
Yeah, it was certainly interesting from that point of view as well. I mean, as well as that, your final corner incident, I think it was about 2-3 laps to go, with Sean McGoldrick and Rory O'Shea. Talk us through that from your point of view.
I seen Rory go for the move, and I thought he was going to run wide with Sean. And I seen that he had cleared him, but he still stayed in the kind of in the middle of the road. So whenever I tried to go down the inside, I kind of touched his rear and sent him round, and caused both of us to go sideways. So we're lucky not to get into too much of a. We didn't lose too much places there, so it wasn't too bad.
You're starting 7th from the reverse grid pole. We've already seen you pretty much catapult your way up the field from 24th place. So starting from 7th place should be a breeze, right, Jordan?
We'll see. We'll see. But I think I have the pace around here, but it's just a matter of keeping out of trouble and stuff. So we'll see. We'll see how we can get on from 7th. I'm inside, so that's another bonus, I suppose, too.
Great stuff, Jordan. We wish you the best for the final race. We'll see if you can get a race win to round off what has been a fantastic season for you. We'll let you prepare and get in the zone for the final race of the evening. And remember, Jordan, cold tyres. Remember the cold tyres.
Try my best.
Cheers, Jordan. Good luck.
Thanks, Kieran.
Thanks, Jordan. Oh, brilliant stuff. I love it when the drivers go along with jokes as well. It makes it 10 times easier, 10 times funnier as well, I think.
It does, and I swear we have more than Northern Irish drivers at RTA. By the way, I've kind of just realised that anyone we interview seems to be from there. But
it's a strong Ulster accent. That's all it is here.
Yes, it is. Trust me, it's worse in real life. Dylan McClements takes the win in heat number 2. As you can see on your screen, he'll be starting 8th. Sorry, very sorry to Ronan Doherty, Sean McClements, if you are watching. There was no need for the insult there. But yeah, we have a very intriguing final heat here, Kieran. Final one of the season in this GT4 car. Let's run you through the grid then shortly. No, sorry, let's run you through the grid now, shall we? For the race for this shortly. Lawrence de Soswa on pole, Brian McManus in second, very interesting front row. Peter McCann in third, he'd love to take a win from third. Conor Melia then in fourth. Rory O'Shea in fifth with Sean McGoldrick in sixth. Then it is Dylan McClements who will start in eighth ahead of Jordan Kelly in seventh. Ryan Ware then in ninth, Alexander Milchin in 10th. Then it's Hutchings and Farrell 11th and 12th.
Running through the rest of the order then, John McDonald in 13th place, Wing Fei Chan in 14th place, then the 8th row, Jamal Gandor in 15th, David Prunty in 16th place, 9th row is Aaron Dalton and Philip Upson, 10th row is Mark Ivory and Tony Stack, 11th row is Gary Corcoran and Rob Parks, and 12th and final row, Adam Dowling and Sean McClements. I noticed then it's not Mr. Mark Ivory anymore. He's dropped the Mr. That's a shame. It suited him.
Yeah, maybe he'll be Dr. Mark Ivory from next season. Ooh, that'd be an intriguing one.
Will it have, yeah, it would have to go Mr. then Doctor, and then of course when you get the honour higher than Doctor, you go back to Mr. I never quite understood that, but it makes sense to somebody somewhere.
Yeah, surely there should be like Emperor or something above Doctor or something along those lines. I thought that would have been cool, but this is probably why I don't get responsibility in picking those things.
Emperor Ivory. It's got a ring to it, doesn't it?
Yeah. Master Mark Ivory maybe as well. That's sort of a good one.
That's going backwards. That's sort of younger than 18.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you're master before you're 18. And then you're a mister from that point onwards.
See, I wouldn't know about these sort of things.
Titles,
I don't think I'm ever gonna be a doctor. Maybe a doctor in terrible sim racing puns or something. Although that would probably be you, Kieran.
It would. That would be me. Yeah. I would take that PhD and wear it as a badge of honour.
I like to try my best with some of the puns, but if you didn't see Kieran's pun from the weekend, go look it up on whatever social media platform you choose.
I regret nothing and I apologise for nothing too.
As it should be. As we head round here on the formation lap, it's McManus who leads ahead of de Soswa. Then it is Melia, McCann, O'Shea, McGoldrick and Jordan in 7th. Speaking of fantastic Jordans, a big thank you, of course, to our sponsors, TH Jordan. A fabulous service is TH Jordan. Although it looks like Jordan Kelly has been printing points this season, trust me, he hasn't. Well, because you can't do that. But TH Jordan can print anything you want. A fabulous crowd in Belfast with a client-focused design, print and finishing service. Their work ranges from single-colour stationery and leaflets to full-colour folders, annual reports and magazines. So a big thanks to them once again. Of course, we have to give those a huge shout out for sponsoring this season here in RTA. But Kieran, we're coming around to the final corner now for the final start of the season.
The final start of the season, Evan. Let's send off these GT4s in absolute style. For the final time, we go racing, and Lawrence de Sosva instantly gets the great start out of the final corner as we head away across the line. But behind them, it's McManus and McCann as we make our way down towards the Andretti hairpin for the first time. Rory O'Shea is up the inside there of Conor Melia as we head our way through in towards the first corner. Peter McCann gets his way through. Rory O'Shea up the inside now and trying to find a way past Brian McManus. McManus has the inside line though this time for turn number 3. Can he get his way through there? No, he can't. Not this time. But still, he will try to hang it down the inside. That is Conor Melia, who's also trying to find a way past Rory O'Shea in the background. Jordan Kelly stays in 7th place for now. Dylan McClements in 8th place. They're just waiting for moves that happen ahead of them. Sean McClements might be the domino that makes it everything fall as he moves up inside of Conor Melia, but there's contact, and that's McGoldrick who's facing the wrong way on the rise up towards turn 6 there. I think he's chucked it into reverse there, but he has fallen all the way down the order.
Sean McGoldrick with the RTA version of that scene from Fast and Furious, reversing backwards down towards turn number 6. It's been a horrid start for him. Here in heat number 3, he's way down the order and won't be finishing his season in the style he might have imagined. That's somebody running wide there in towards turn number 9, the rainy curve. But there has been a big crash further back, we're hearing. We might have to have a quick look at this through the replay, but de Soswa leads the opening lap.
Yeah, half a second up the road from Peter McCann, but Brian McManus is looking to try and defend this position now from Rory O'Shea and Jordan Kelly, who is trying to find his way through. Rory O'Shea might find an inside line here, but he doesn't quite brake late enough, but that might actually help him out there. Brian McManus trying to brake later and use the outside line, but that hasn't worked because now Rory O'Shea has got the position. Now Jordan Kelly has to swoop the long way around. Oh, there's contact between the two of them, but they face the right way, as that's exactly what Ryan Ware wants to see, as he looks to go up the inside now at turn 4, and that washes Jordan Kelly a little bit wide, but Brian McManus holding on to 4th place here ahead of Jordan Kelly and Dylan McClements in the background.
Let's have a look at this replay then here from the opening lap of heat number 3. This is Gary Corcoran who are having a look with up towards the corkscrew. Let's have a look and see what goes down here then. So braking, that's a huge launch from Gary Corcoran. Oh, and that's clattered into the side of one of the cars. That is going to be probably a hefty penalty for Gary Corcoran, who's been involved in that incident. He's taken a big bite under the braking, and unfortunately it was not very scrumdiddly-umptious, and he's hit the side of the car and will not really play a further part in this one. I imagine there was big damage in that incident, Kieran.
Oh, not at all. And Tony Stack in the Milker car, did he get caught up in this? Yes, he did, but he managed to avoid everyone and everything, and he might have actually got a little bit of position there against Adam Dowling, but tried to get the move done there against the number 2, but no way through for him. We rejoin, though, live action as Peter McCann and Lawrence de Sosva lock horns in a battle for the lead of this race.
Yes, this could be a really interesting fight between de Sosva and McCann. It's a battle that's happened on track and off track a little bit this season here in the TH Jordan GT4 Cup. So it could be a very intriguing one, and a very fitting battle, may I say, for the final race of the season. It's O'Shea then in 3rd, then Kelly, McClements. This is Conor Melia, who is a little bit further back in 8th, looking to try and make the move on Ryan Ware. It's been all smooth sailing for Dylan McClements in his comeback so far. He's up to 4th. Here's a big move down the inside by Conor Melia on Ryan Ware. Is he still able to keep alongside? Yes, he is. Ware just dips on the gravel for a little bit. That gives Melia even more of an advantage in towards the left-hander. Side by side through here never traditionally works, but these guys have managed to pull it off. Ware shoved a little bit wide. Conor Melia is through.
Yeah, that's always the nature of that corner. Running too wide there, someone is going to get launched wide onto the sand. It wasn't too bad, though, for Ryan Ware. He didn't lose too much time, but Conor Melia moves himself now up into 7th place. Lawrence de Sosva still in the way against Peter McCann as we make our way in towards the final corner. I wonder for Lawrence de Sosva, is this going to be a very long 16.5 minutes left of this race? Or sorry, 15.5 minutes. Let's subtract a minute off of Lawrence de Sosva for my bad maths. Rory O'Shea, though, sets the fastest lap of the race. That's quickly usurped by Jordan Kelly, who's running in 4th place right now. Peter McCann going deep in towards the Andretti hairpin, try and get the better run out of that corner. Towards turn 3 we go, and that squabbling between them is allowing Rory O'Shea to sort of cast the fishing net out and reel himself in, as that's Brian McManus, who's down to 8th place now. Maybe a bit of issues somewhere in the Andretti hairpin, because he's now under pressure from Alexander Milchard as we head our way through in towards turn 4.
Yeah, this is boding to be a really intriguing race here between de Sosva and McCann. We're looking back from Lawrence de Sosva's car on towards Peter McCann. You can just see as they head through here. De Sosva a little bit better through there. McCann's actually a little bit wide. Could be under pressure from O'Shea. Heading in towards the corkscrew. Is Rory O'Shea alongside enough? No, not really. He'll back out of that one. That's smart from Rory O'Shea. Doesn't want to take too big a risk. There's still 3/4 of the race left to go, and he knows plenty of time to make an overtake on Peter McCann.
Still plenty of time, although for a driver there's never plenty of time. It always has to be done right here, right now. Jordan Kelly, though, makes this a quartet battle for the lead. Rory O'Shea then looks for a move down the inside against Peter McCann, and Jordan Kelly tries to follow O'Shea through. On the exit now, the power and the hammer goes down out of turn 11, and that was both Rory O'Shea and Jordan Kelly moving past Peter McCann pretty much in the blink of an eye now, and O'Shea almost helping Jordan Kelly through. He created that gap, and Jordan Kelly found his way through. Massive crash for Brian McManus, who was trying to find his way back through the field. Huge crash for McManus, and that will be him, I'm sure, out of this race. That's all coming out the final corner and onto the start-finish straight.
Yeah, he's been nudged there and he's been almost sent round, and it gets worse seemingly for Brian McManus as John McDonald comes back onto the circuit. Now oh, that's a really weird one. McManus, that's Enda Farrell. Looks, well, maybe some sort of external issue there for McManus, but it's a hefty collision into the wall, Kieran. I'm not sure what you make of that one, but certainly McManus is out of this race.
Yeah, it was an awkward one, that one, wasn't it? He just drifted over, and it's almost like he didn't really see Enda Farrell there, or he misjudged it. Either way, it sent him into the wall and out of this race. Jordan Kelly, though, with a move down the inside of Rory O'Shea. Before we get to the corkscrew, Jordan Kelly now moves himself up into second place, and I'm sure that's the last thing Lawrence de Sosva wanted to see. We're watching on that green safety car of Enda Farrell, now trying to hold back Simon Hutchings. He just needs to put some orange lights on the top of that, and maybe Simon Hutchings will think twice about going for an overtake. But Wingfei Chan, Enda Farrell, Simon Hutchings, John McDonald all locked in a battle here, with Jamal Gandor now up into 9th place at this moment in time. Jamal's up 6 places from where he started in this race, so it's been a brilliant run from the Lebanese driver.
Yeah, it's been a great run from Jamal Gandor. Finished 8th last week in heat number 3, so he's not quite there just yet, but he is in 9th, 4.5 behind Alexander Milchan. Is quite a difficult gap to catch, especially when Milchan is on good form. Lawrence de Soswa, the sweat is probably dripping off him at this point because he's had Peter McCann right behind him for so long. Now he has the champion, Jordan Kelly, right on his gearbox, down towards turn number 5 and 6. But de Soswa is doing a great job here in the number 15. Will he be able to stay ahead for much longer, though? Jordan Kelly does look really quick here, and he's a man who's looking to try prove something from that earlier spin on the opening lap of heat number 1. Is there going to be a move for Kelly towards the corkscrew? Potentially not, because of that mistake on the exit of turn number 6. We've seen a couple of rare mistakes from Jordan Kelly, that albeit not a big one, but still could have cost him a move down the inside in towards the famous corner.
Yeah, but and I'm speaking to him, of course, in the interviews, he has that relaxed demeanour about him, about a man who's already wrapped up this championship. He knows he's walking away here with championship in hand, and knows that it's not going to be that critical. As Jordan Kelly looking for a move, there is Lawrence de Sosva, tried to slam the door shut. Jordan Kelly kept his nose in there, and even though the door was attempted to be locked and barred shut by Lawrence de Sosva, Jordan Kelly found his way through. Now Rory O'Shea will try and take advantage here, using the toe of Jordan Kelly up ahead of him to try and sneak a move down the inside. And what Rory O'Shea managed to help out Jordan Kelly with in a move against Peter McCann, Jordan Kelly's now returned the favour to Rory O'Shea. They're both up positions now. It's Kelly leading O'Shea, and de Sosva now battling with Peter McCann. We know how a battle between those two works out, as we saw over the last couple of weeks. We get to see it this time for a battle for the last spot on the podium.
Yes, Lawrence de Soswa first to third in a matter of corners. Jordan Kelly and Rory O'Shea both sneaking through. And cast your eyes back to Heat 2, Virginia International Raceway. It was a late race fight between Jordan Kelly and Rory O'Shea. They're looking to continue there as hop over the curb goes Rory O'Shea in towards turn number 6. Lawrence de Soswa now under pressure from Peter McCann once again. Is McCann going to commit to the inside? Nope. There's no gap really there. He's going to stay behind for the time being. Bit of a nudge of the car in front of him, but nothing major. Jordan Kelly, though, already outside a second. I think reality is slowly starting to set in once again.
Yeah, with warm tyres now. Jordan Kelly's absolutely on it
Warm
right now.
tyres.
1.4 seconds ahead, but there is Peter McCann, who's chucking everything. Lawrence de Sosva, not quite the kitchen sink, but I don't think we're too far away from it from Peter McCann, as we're past the halfway point in time of this race. Lawrence de Sosva has some defending to do against Peter McCann, but watch out for Dylan McClements, who's slowly catching these two as well, as they both head their way down towards the Andretti hairpin.
Remember here as well, Lawrence de Soswa is not just fighting for an RTA podium, he's also fighting for 6th in the championship. Tied on points with Ryan Ware ahead of this round. He beat Ryan Ware in heat number 2. Be honest, don't remember who won in heat number 1 between those two, but I think it was Ryan Ware. But de Soswa was certainly doing the business here in heat number 3. We're over the halfway mark, which means we only have half the race left to go for the season. This is Sean McGoldrick, who is trying to get past David Prunty for 15th spot. McGoldrick, of course, had that incident on the opening lap, slowly working his way back through the field. Not a man, really, who's going to score big points today in this race, but could certainly make some big overtakes and maybe even boost his ego a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely, and fair play to Sean for sticking in this race. And it's the end of a season now. Sean started this day in 4th place in the championship. He started about 31 points ahead of Rory O'Shea, so he needs to get some valuable points on his side before that checkered flag falls. So he knows to keep in this race, get those points up. You never know what might happen ahead of you.
Yes, absolutely correct. Anything could happen in motorsport, and it usually does, as Murray Walker used to say. And if it can happen in real life motorsport, there's a high chance it'll happen here in RTA. But we see Jordan Kelly setting the fast laps, 27.8 compared to a 28.4 for Rory O'Shea. So it seems like there is an inevitable conclusion to this Heat 3 potentially for Jordan Kelly. And I suppose it would finish the season off in style for him. It's not been the clean sweep like he had in Road Atlanta, but it's been a strong performance here in this 3rd heat. Then the battle continuing on for 6th position between Melia and Ware. There's more battles happening down the field as well. Good recovery from Wing Fei Chan from that incident in the 1st heat. He's fighting with Milchin and Gandor now for 8th spot, but fair play to Wing Fei. Didn't let an early crash sort of affect his evening fully, and he's fought back nicely.
Yeah, he has, and it's not been a great couple of weeks for him here at RTA, because of course he had that massive crash last week. He's found the tyre barriers again in the 1st heat. But he's got that morale about him to just keep on keeping on. He's 1.3 seconds away from Jamal Gandor as he makes his way through in towards turn 6 and up the Rahal straight. And Wing Fei Chan, we've seen over the past few weeks, he's not one to give up easily.
No, he isn't. He kind of fights on until the checkered flag falls for heat number 3. He was the same in the Formula Ford 1600A racing cars as well last season. Of course, you can check out rtavirtualmotorsport.com for more news about next season and the Endurance Series, which I believe is running next week. Ronan will probably correct me if I'm wrong with that one. But yeah, is running next week. So make sure you do sign up for that one as well if you are interested. In terms of what's happening on the track, well, it's a Jordan Kelly fastest lap.
It is indeed, and as you say, normality has taken a resumption here as Jordan Kelly pumping in those fast laps now. He's in the zone and pulls 3 seconds clear of Rory O'Shea. De Sosva and McCann, though, battling for a place on the podium as they make their way through in towards turn 4. And back on the power they go up through the gears, heading our way towards turn 5. And De Sosva trying to drive a wider Aston Martin than others to try and keep Peter McCann behind. Both of these two have pulled off some fantastic overtakes over the past 2 weeks. I suppose it's going to be a competition to see who can get the overtake or perhaps the defensive move to keep themselves ahead in P3. Simon Hutchings there. Was that a little bit of a love tap to Wing Fei Chan? It was a little bit of a love tap, but the Welsh moves himself up into 10th place. But Ender Farrell right behind him though for close company. Also takes advantage of that free position. And now Ender Farrell looking to see if he can find his way past down in towards the corkscrew. He thought about it. Simon Hutchings saw that one coming.
Simon Hutchings with a shoulder that would be very impressive in a large crowd when you're trying to cut through somewhere. A love tap is one word for it. No regard for Wing Fei's existence for a second, it seemed. But he gets through nonetheless. Wing Fei does lose the spot to Enda Farrell in the safety car livery as well. We have all sort of the iconic liveries of the season really gaggled together. The Milka car, the safety car. We have John McDonnell's sort of Potato Nation British Petroleum Fuels throwback as well, and then we have the Aston Martin liveried Aston Martin. I know that sounds a bit stupid, but that is what Sean McGoldrick is in. They're going side by side down towards the first corner, Stack on the outside, and then it's going to be John McDonnell on the inside. Now John McDonnell ahead as they go line astern once again in towards the end of the first sector. 15 minutes and 30 seconds gone out of the 20. We are nearing that final couple of laps where all the battles sort of start to kick off again.
Yeah, with the sun's starting to set there. Oh, and that's Rob Parks who catches a bit of sand there going through and towards turn 3, and that upsets the car majorly. He finds the sand on the outside though, trying to get his way through. Tony Stack though having to battle with Sean McGoldrick. He manages to defend that position as he makes his way up there, but he's going to lose a little bit of time to John McDonnell up ahead of him. I wonder if it's a case of if he lets Sean McGoldrick by, he might be able to reel himself closer and closer to that battle. Speaking of battles, we've got Lawrence de Sosva and Peter McCann battling for a final podium of the series then, down in towards the final corner. Peter McCann breaks earlier to try and get the better run one out of the final corner and right onto that rear diffuser now of Lawrence de Sosva. De Sosva closes that door as it's almost Schumacher Barrichello at the Hungaroring down in towards turn 1 here. De Sosva does not want to let that position go without a hard fight. Peter McCann trying to find his way through there, maybe on the edge, maybe on the limit there for Lawrence de Sosva, but that battle for P3 is really heating up with less than 3.5 minutes to run.
Yeah, Ronan rightly calling it an Aries. Maybe a little bit of weaving from Lawrence de Soswa down the straight, but look, it's the end of the season. We're deciding the final championship positions. It's close, it's tight, door-to-door racing. We're very much enjoying it here in the commentary box, and I'm sure you guys at home are as well. But McCann would love nothing more than to get past Lawrence de Soswa here in the late race stages. Lawrence de Soswa would love nothing more than to keep his fans entertained and stay ahead of the fabulous Peter McCann in towards the corkscrew. McCann's got very close through here every lap pretty much, but he's not been brave enough to commit to a move on the brakes. I don't know, I still think he might, Kieran, but he's going to go to the outside, down towards the rainy curve of turn number 9. He's trying a long sweeping outside line. Now he's got the overspeed on the inside, but forced to the outside once again. McCann is getting close, but he does now have Dylan McClements right behind here, who won the first 2 races. It's McCann to the outside in towards the final corner. De Soswa has to defend. Dylan McClements looking to sneak up the inside as well. McClements almost has, but it's a great exit from Peter McCann. Down towards the first corner. He's the Team DDR car on the left-hand side. He's boxed in a little bit, but he's still going to slip into the slipstream of Lawrence de Soswa. Down towards the Andretti hairpin. Oh, Peter McCann, he's going to try commit to it on the brakes. Lawrence de Soswa, very aggressive defending once again, but all clean, no harm, no foul. It is still de Soswa, McCann, McClements. Even Conor Melly is starting to introduce himself into this fight.
That trio really did thread the needle there. They came so close so many times, and yet all of them are still facing the right way. And that has attracted the attentions of Conor Melia and Ryan Ware towards the end of this race. And it might become a quintet battle for a place on the podium, because Dylan McClements is just filling the mirrors right now of Peter McCann as we get our way back onto the power. Up the hill we go towards turn 6 and towards the corkscrew. As we make our way through, Lawrence de Sosva really hoping he can hang on to this position. He must be running out of fingernails right now, but at the moment he stays in 3rd place. Now Peter McCann might have to turn attack to defence, because Dylan McClements is all over the back of him now. And if Peter McCann does decide to have to defend these positions, because he didn't get the greatest exit out of turn 6 that he could have got there, as he's lost a lot of ground to Lawrence de Sosva as we head onto the final lap here of the season. The sun is setting on this season, but this battle's far from over.
It's a last lap thriller here in Leguna Seca is what we are in for. It's the final race of the season. Jordan Kelly's gone into the sunset. He has no care in the world for what's going on behind him, but for Lawrence de Soswa, Peter McCann and Dylan McClements, this is everything. This will decide who has the bragging rights heading into the off-season and heading in towards Super Formula Lights. Conor Melia not able to get the job done on Dylan McClements in towards the first corner. Seems like LD's got a decent enough run in towards the right-hander of turn number 3 and 4, but still, McCann's been stronger in the middle sector, I think. I don't think this one's over just yet, Kieran.
No, not just yet. Yeah, just wait to the middle sector for Peter McCann. Let's see what he can do, because he's been very strong in there all race long as they head their way now down in towards turn 5. Dylan McClements, though, wants to take a couple more positions here. He pretty much had runners-up spot on tenterhooks here, and with those 2 wins, he may have just wrapped it up, but he wants to end this season on a high, like all our drivers do as we head away towards the corkscrew here. This really has become for Peter McCann to hold on to 4th place. Dylan McClements thinks about a move up the inside, no way through.
No way through for those guys as we're rounding through the final couple of corners now. Jordan Kelly heading into the hairpin. He will end the season in fantastic fashion with the championship and a Leguna Seca win in his back pocket. Jordan Kelly rounds us off in fantastic fashion with an 8.2 second win. But look at this, the carnage still ensues. Lawrence de Soswa will come home in 3rd. Rory O'Shea gets 2nd just ahead of him, but de Soswa holds out in 3rd. McCann in 4th, and it's McClements, Melia and Ryan Ware. Ryan Ware, I think, has just lost 6th place in the championship to Lawrence de Soswa. A little bit further back then, it's going to be Milchin, Gandor, Chan, Stack, Farrell, but McGoldrick still fighting on here at end of Farrell. Sean McGoldrick dived down the inside, no, just hits the brakes at the right time, didn't hit end of Farrell. Farrell will come home in 12th, McGoldrick in 13th, and that, folks, is how you run a race season.
That was fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. I know a lot of drivers will miss these GT4 Aston Martins. I will too. They have been absolutely brilliant, and I was only here for half a season, but what a half a season it was. We've had plenty of on-track drama, we've had plenty of brilliant battles, and what a way to draw the curtain on what has been a fantastic season. Take nothing away from Jordan Kelly, the dominant man from Donegal, takes the victory, takes the championship, and will absolutely romp away with an 8.1 second lead.
Yes, Jordan Kelly ends the season in fabulous fashion ahead of Rory O'Shea in the High Prix car in second. I wanted to say High Prix for one last time, to be brutally honest. Lawrence de Soswa in third ahead of Peter McCann in fourth. Then it is Dylan McClemens, Connor Melia, Ryan Ware, Alexander Milchin, Jamal Gandor and Wingfei Chan rounds out the top 10.
Yep, Tony Stack in the Milker car, finishing in 11th place. Enda Farrell in 12th place. Sean McGoldrick recovering to 13th place after that facing the wrong way on the very first lap. David Prunty in 14th place with John McDonald in 15th place. Adam Dowling in 16th. Mark Ivory in 17th place. Simon Hutchings had some issues on the last lap. He dropped all the way down to 18th place. 19th place went the way of Rob Parks with Philip Upson rounding off the top 20. And oh, go on then. Go on, Evan. You round up the four because I think they're non-finishers.
Yes, there is Aaron Dalton, Brian McManus, Gary Corcoran, and Sean McClemens, who Sean didn't even start any of the races, but he finished in 24th position. He had some PC trouble, I think, before we got started here this evening. But I'm delighted to say we have a full podium of interviews coming up for you folks. We have Jordan Kelly, Rory O'Shea, and Lawrence de Soswa for the final time this season. Let's hear from Jordan, your champion. Jordan, congratulations on the win. You said you were going to try take a win here this evening. You did that, and I think that rounds off a pretty much perfect season for you.
Yeah, apart from that, it was as perfect as I could have got it. But that was a good, good track for the car, to be fair. So that was a bonus tonight.
It's one of the more difficult tracks, I suppose, on the calendar. There's not a lot of runoff, and from our perspective, anyways, you really do seem to be punished for your mistakes.
Yeah, it's if you get it right, it's good, but if you get it wrong, it's just all over the place. Especially going up the, if you're on too wide going up the hill, the sand just doesn't let you back in. Like so, it's stuff like that that you just need to watch out for and stuff. So no, it was a good it was a good race after I got my spin out of the way at the start, but we won't talk too much about that.
And then, in terms of the season as a whole, is it safe to say you enjoyed this one?
Oh yeah, I like single seaters. I always race single seaters in real life and stuff, but obviously in iRacing I like them too. But GT cars are always like doing endurance stuff, so it's always good to get back to them and get a good door-to-door stuff and not have to worry too much about wheel-to-wheel contact as you would in the single seaters where you'd get flipped or something if you touched wheels. So that's definitely good in that sense.
And then, of course, very successful in the sim for yourself, very successful in real world racing as well. If anyone wants to find out where Jordan Kelly will be racing, I know you've done a little bit of Formula Ford so far this year, but what's next for you then, I suppose, outside of RTA?
At the minute I'm just going to be doing the Kirkstone Championship up for the Fords up in Kirkstone. So apart from that, I'll probably go over and do the Formula Ford Festival and at the Hayes. They're two of the biggest events of the year in recent terms in the UK. So hopefully get over to them. It should be a good battle over there.
Jordan, congratulations on the win, congratulations on the championship, and we very much look forward to hearing from you next season.
Appreciate it, Evan. Good talking to you.
Second in tonight's Heat 3, then it is Rory O'Shea. Kieran, I'll let you talk to Rory.
Yes, Rory. First of all, can you hear us, Rory?
Yes, I can.
Rory, great showing from you today. We had some great battles for the podium, and you managed to get yourself a strong haul of points towards the end of this season. I mean, it's a time of reflection. You had a great race today and some great battling out there.
Yeah, I was actually really happy with how it went in the end. I going into practice, I felt like my pace wasn't really great, but then as soon as I got into the race, I was able to keep up with Sean and the people I needed to keep up. Unfortunately, not Jordan, but he was just way too quick for everyone today.
Yeah, that's been a bit of a theme in the second half of the season for Jordan Kelly, hasn't it? But from yourself, though, these GT4s, I mean, Lawrence has said, even on his stream times, he's going to miss these cars. Is that going to be the same for you?
Yeah, I think so. Like, this is probably one of the first time I've raced these cars since the GT4s came out on iRacing, so it was definitely a new one for me. But I've enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. So I definitely be a car I'll keep racing going forward.
I mean, it was a strong showing from you today as well. Sean McGoldrick finishing down the order in that final race. We'll have to get an update of the standings, hopefully. But on the whole, though, Rory, how has this season been for you? Because the curtain falls on this season. We look forward to the next, pretty much starting as soon as we finished up here. But how has this season been for you on reflection?
I hadn't really been keeping too much of an eye on the points, and then I looked at them before I started today, and I realised I was up quite high. So I'm pretty happy considering I missed a round as well. But I think I'm definitely looking for more in the Super Formula Lights, because those sort of cars will be more up my alley. So, but overall, I'm happy with this one. You know.
Well, great stuff. Congratulations, Rory, on what's been a great season. I'll let you go down and debrief, but congratulations on your podium in the final one.
Yeah, thanks.
And Rory O'Shea there, walking away with second place in that final race. Evan, bring him in. Let's get Lawrence in here.
Yes, let's hear from Lawrence. Lawrence, from our perspective, that was a really good battle at the end of that heat. All elbows out. How was it from inside the cockpit?
It was sweaty. I think that's the best word for it.
Kieran, can I just say, I did say Lawrence would be sweating having Peter McCann right behind, so incredible shout there for me. But Lawrence, your pace in these GT4 cars has been very good, and I saw your stream title tonight saying you're going to miss them. It's safe to say you enjoyed this season.
So I guess I'm very vocal in my channel usually that I'm not a fan of GT cars. I probably mainly GT3. I just don't get the mass appeal of it. I do like the GT2, GT4, but again, they wouldn't be my first choice. This car, I spent a lot of time with it, and I've gotten to like it. I had my first probably 3 rounds. I had absolute howlers. I had hardware disconnect issues. I got poor quality results, so I was mid-pack, trying too hard. I got binned. So the season towards the end kind of came together a little bit, and the results started getting better and better. Finishing it off with a podium in the last race is, stuff of dreams.
And then it was nice to see a lot of Potato Nation stickers around the grid as well. I know you're very proud of what Potato Nation has achieved. Was it fun to, I suppose, race with some people who you've got to know through sim racing and through your own channel, of course?
Absolutely. I love racing with the RTA League because they don't treat me any differently to just a normal driver, which is great. So I get the same respect on track, and I also get the same abuse on track. And I kind of want that as a driver. I'm relatively anonymous in this league. Having people from the Potato Nation there, and I've seen them getting better and better. One absolute standout this season is Alex Milchin, has been unbelievable. He didn't have a great round tonight. He didn't really like the track. He doesn't actually like the car at all, and that's very painful when he's quicker than you are to hear him say that he doesn't like the car. But yeah, seeing the Potato Nation stickers around the place and the vast array of liveries. It's not like they took the same livery and just put a different name on it. They all made a lot of effort, and especially Simi in our Discord put a lot of effort into a lot of those skins.
Lawrence, great hearing from you. Great seeing you out on track. Thank you very much for joining us, and we do hope to hear from you at some point next season.
Definitely. Hopefully in the podium places again.
Great to hear from Jordan, Rory, and Lawrence there. Kieran, the difficult bit for the final time this season, it is where we choose the driver of the day.
Why do they have to make it so? Yeah. Well, anyway, we do have to pick one. It is
Doesn't
very
help when your
difficult.
director keeps giving you a load of names, by the way. That really makes it difficult.
Makes it so difficult. Are we going to have 2 coin flips in a row. I mean, okay, let's go through
I
the
don't
options.
have my wallet with me. I can't do it this week.
Neither do I, to be fair. So it can't be a coin flip this time. Well, let's have a look at the options. We've got Peter McCann, we've got Rory O'Shea, or we've got Conor Melia. That's sort of the shortlist I was going for. I've been leaning towards Conor Melia, purely the fact that he was 8th place coming into tonight. He's been there or thereabouts with the pace, but my goodness, did he come up with the pace today? As we see Jordan Kelly crowned the TH Jordan GT4 Cup champion. We knew that going into tonight, but he reaffirmed that with the win. Yeah, Conor Melia, I thought he had some strong pace tonight. He has been struggling over the last couple of weeks, but boy, was he on the pace tonight.
Yeah, I agree with Connor. I'm going to propose 2 more names. One is Peter McCann, who was very strong, and the other one is Dylan McClements, who won 2 races.
Yes.
I feel like a bit of heat-free bias from me usually, so I'm going to put Dylan out there. But honestly, I could agree with all 3. I think we could be here all evening debating it.
Good. And I think we have a bit of drive for the day guilt for not giving it to Peter McCann last week because, of course, that double move. And Ronan showed that move about 4 times whilst we decided who the driver of the day was then not Peter McCann. So we've got a bit of guilt hanging over us right now. But of course, Evan, we're waffling and wasting time in making this decision, and I'm still no closer to deciding.
I'm going to go with Conor Melia then. We'll make the decision. I'll go with you, Kieran. We'll go for Conor Melia, driver of the day, for the final round here this evening. I think I think honestly they all equally deserve it.
Yeah, and I think we'll still get guilt tripped. I'm sure Ronan's digging through the files now to see a fantastic move made by
And Peter
McCann
McCann himself, probably.
Yeah, probably as well. Maybe a quadruple overtake that we somehow forgot. But yeah, I think Conor Melia, in that martini livery, I think today he showed the pace and he showed what he can do behind the wheel of one of these things. He showed some great pace today, and I think he's had some strong finishes as well. Great battling out there from him as well. I think he's deserved that driver of the day.
Yes, he definitely has. But folks, that pretty much brings us to an end here. We do have one quick thing to run through first, and we got to give a few big shout outs to people. The first big shout out goes to Ronan Hederman behind the scenes, because none of this happens without him. Me and Kieran could waffle on for hours together, but you would literally see nothing without Ronan. So a big thanks to Ronan Hederman behind the scenes for providing us with some fabulous scenes to commentate on, fabulous camera work, yada yada, so on, so on. I'd be here for hours if I discussed everything Ronan did. But yeah, a big shout out to him. He's going to actually jump in a couple of moments as well. But a few more shout outs is big shout out to Peter Duke as well for the fabulous sponsorship of TH Jordan. The TH Jordan RTA GT4 Cup just rolls off the tongue perfectly. So a big shout out to Peter Duke. A big shout out to Evan Walsh and Sean McClements, who provide us with the race photos you see on the Facebook page, on all the graphics on the stream as well. So a huge shout out to them. Honestly, the photos have been looking fabulous. I know Sean's been working really hard to improve upon them, and he's doing a great job. They're looking better week in, week out. As well to Enda Farrell for providing us with the RTAVirtualMotorsport.com, and of course to Kieran McGinley for listening to me each week and for joining myself. But I believe Mr. Ronan Hederman, the man who we talk so much about, is going to jump in for a second.
Cheers, guys. No, I said I'd come in here as well and just thank both yourself, Evan, and Kieran for the great job that you do week in, week out, and also to our beloved Kevin Galvin, who is gallivanting around the world somewhere at the moment. But yeah, no, really appreciate your work, guys, and obviously it contributes massively to this RTA championship and to past championships and championships going forward.
You missed a big opportunity for a big pun there with Kevin for gallivanting round the. Yeah, that was terrible. Look, I'm good at those puns. Boo me. Yeah. Boo me. I see what you cheer. But anyway, no, it's been fantastic. I mean, thank you for having me on board. It was always a risk inviting an Englishman to one of these things because it can so often be ruined. But no, it's been great fun. This last half of the season has seen some fantastic racing, and I can't wait to get back in the box again.
Me too. Cannot wait to be back for RTA Virtual Motorsport. There's not much of a break, folks. There's plenty of RTA action coming up. And once again, a big thanks to you guys at home for watching week in, week out. We greatly appreciate all your support here on Gantry TV and in RTA. We're going to let you go and enjoy your evenings now, folks. We'll be back before you know it. Stay safe, stay well, and we shall see you next time, folks. Slán go fóill.